In a time filled with wounds and war, the enemies of Islam rose from every side, trying to extinguish the light of truth. In a small nomadic village, a mother placed her hand on her young son's head and whispered a heartfelt prayer. "O Allah, make him a warrior of faith." That small boy was Ertugrul, the one the world would one day know as Ertugrul Ghazi. Ertugrul's childhood was spent in the valleys and mountains with his tribe. He learned to ride, to hunt, and to fight. But more importantly, his father Suleiman Shah taught him. A sword should never be raised for pride or greed, only against injustice. His mother, Jaime Ana, taught him patience and prayer. He absorbed every word, every lesson, as if it were a sacred truth. One day, during a hunting trip, young Ertugrul and his friends witnessed a group of innocent travelers being attacked by raiders. Ertugrul stepped forward and said, "To stay silent in the face of oppression is to side with the oppressor." With fearless eyes, he drew his sword and fought for the weak. It was his first battle, not just with the sword, but with conscience. As he grew older, challenges rose within the tribe. Some wanted war, others peace. Ertugrul, wise beyond his years, stood before the elders and said, "Hatred only brings ruin. Love and justice are the true paths to victory." The tribe listened and followed. People began to say, "He is not just a fighter, he is a leader." At night around the campfire, the elders would tell stories of Salahuddin Ayyubi, the great liberator. Ertugrul would listen with shining eyes. He once said, "I want to be like him. A sword for truth, a heart for peace." Time passed, and Ertugrul stood in the grand court of Sultan Alauddin in Konya. With dignity and strength, he walked beside his brave companions. The Sultan looked at him and said, "Such men are rare, men whose faith is their armor and justice their sword." Later, by the rivers of Soyut, Ertugrul began to build a new home for his tribe. There, his son was born, Usman, the future founder of a great empire. Ertugrul held the baby in his arms and whispered, "You are the seed of a dream, the dream of a just nation." He taught Usman not just to fight, but to feel. Leadership, he said, isn't about power. It's about serving truth. In the final years of his life, Ertugrul sat beneath a tree on a quiet hill, overlooking the land his people had built. His beard had turned white, but his voice still carried fire. He called his son and said, "My son, the world may tempt you with crowns and riches, but remember, the real throne is where justice sits." He placed his hand on Usman's shoulder. "Raise the flag of truth, even if you must stand alone. Never fear the tyrant. Never harm the innocent." Time passed. Usman grew up and founded an empire, the Ottoman Empire, that lasted over 600 years. And people remembered. They said, "Where Ertugrul walked, honor followed. Where he stood, justice rose." Ertugrul Ghazi didn't just leave behind a tribe. He left a legacy of courage, faith, and justice. A soul that still lives on, in every heart that beats for the truth. Assalamu alaikum. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Family Vault, and also press the bell icon. Please like and share as well.